What's going on, everybody? Welcome into Blazers Uprise Live, powered by BetUS. Today, we're going to talk about the Blazers' latest signing. Eric, I didn't think they were actually going to sign a noteworthy name, but they do in Devonte Graham. Aaron Fentress tweets out that it's a non-guaranteed contract. That's a pretty big name for a non-guaranteed contract. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about the latest trade talk surrounding your Portland Trail Blazers. We'll also talk Olympics. And once again, BetUS is back. BetUS is back. Looking forward to them being on board for another season. Eric, it's August now. How's it going?
It's going pretty good. How are you, Tori?
It's good. You know, it's a little hot today. No AC in here, unfortunately. But, just making do. Just making do. I got a Powerade Zero, and I got the sparkling ice, like this brand. I don't know, is it just ice? Is that what they call it? I've been addicted to those. They have like Starburst flavors of those tall, skinny drinks, right? And I've been hooked on those. Chat, if you guys know what I'm talking about, anyone in chat, then shout out to you. Also, chat, hopefully you guys have had a good week. Let me know what you've done this week down in that live chat, and shout out to the after stream crew that is watching us after we are live. We don't got a ton to get into today, Eric. I'm just gonna stick mainly to Blazer talk, just with Devonte Graham and latest trade talk. We'll touch a little bit on the Olympics, like I said. First, I just want to direct people to NBA Uprise. I uploaded a Tyus Jones video that might reach 10K, Eric. Pretty good. Try to get that channel monetized and actually start doing content over there covering the NBA. So if you like that, if you want to go subscribe to that, there's a link in the description box below. It would mean the world to me if you went and did that. Shout to NBA Uprise, Eric. Looking forward to I know how to make videos hit the algorithm a lot better than when I tried to start it. So I knew Tyus Jones. The title, the thumbnail, certain things just work on YouTube. I've kind of figured it out now, so ready to try my hand again. Yeah, being Gabe to it. I might have actually gotten more views on that than Gabe did, which was surprising because Gabe's stuff pops off at Suns Valley podcast, but yeah, it's a little bit of a race. Yeah, I did pretty good, man. Did pretty good. But Gabe was hyped as a Suns fan getting Tyus Jones. I mean, their offseason has been phenomenal. We talked about that on the last stream, so you can go watch back that last stream after this one if you want our thoughts on the Tyus Jones signing. Unfortunately, we haven't really had much happen since then. We don't really have much more to talk about. Is there anything like across the NBA that's caught your eye in the recent days, Eric?
Across the NBA, not really. Just kind of Olympic stuff, but other than that, not really.
Yeah, the one little bit of news that I'm waiting for that I don't know when it'll come, but now that the NBA has finalized their TV agreement, the next domino to fall is expansion, which means Seattle and Las Vegas. Now, the Blazers play in Seattle against the Clippers, who are owned by Steve Ballmer, right? I kind of have a feeling that Blazers preseason game might be when things get announced. If the NBA does things right, if they wait until then, that would be imagine that being announced at like halftime or something. I don't know. It'd probably leak before then, but who knows? That's the next domino to fall because all reports were that the NBA was waiting for this TV deal to be finalized, and then they were going to turn and look at expansion in the two clear-cut cities that they're going to expand to are Seattle and Las Vegas. That's just going to be exciting news, even though we know it's coming. Like, when that's legitimately, like, real and going to happen, that's going to be super exciting to me.
Yeah, absolutely. They played the Clippers in Seattle last year, too, didn't they?
Yeah, and some people were speculating as I'm doing right now, like, that might be when they announce it. But the NBA wanted to get in place its TV deal. They didn't want to do it before the TV deal. But now that's done. Amazon, NBC, ESPN. No TNT, no inside the NBA unless like ESPN rents them out, or I don't even know how that would work. But that's the good news about having this TV deal done is that is supposed to be the next domino to fall is expansion, and man, that will be super exciting to talk about.
Yeah, and another thing is the latest CBA allows for, I don't know exactly how it works, but some sort of possible ownership stake for players in teams. And so it's been long rumored that LeBron wants to be involved with ownership in Las Vegas when there's a team there. So maybe at some point he will get in the mix there as well.
Yeah, how does that even work if he's still playing?
I don't know. Well, I mean, if it's still 2 or 3 years away.
True.
For expansion, I think they could easily rope that in. But like I said, there's a new rule where you can he'll play on the expansion team.
Yeah, that'd be interesting, man. Yeah, maybe. You know how all the rumors was, whatever team drafts Bronny gets LeBron. Maybe we'll be having that conversation in regards to the expansion draft.
Whichever team takes it.
Yeah, we might have that conversation again.
What if the Lakers leave LeBron unprotected? You got to take him if you have the first pick, right? Even like a 43-year-old LeBron, you got to take him just
because you're gonna get a lot of revenue.
Right.
Jersey sales, tickets. Like, it's going to be easy to sell tickets if you got a 43-year-old LeBron.
Yeah. But no, I'm looking forward to teams. Those are two cities that I can frequent often and go to games in some other cities. That'll be fun.
Yep, 100%. Speaking of fun, or I don't know if it's fun,
You're usually pretty good on the segues, man.
I'm so good that sometimes it's just purely humor, comedy, Because, I mean, Devonte Graham, was that a fun signing for you to see, Eric? Because I give my thoughts on a video. We haven't gotten your thoughts yet, though. So what are your thoughts?
Yeah, well, according to Aaron Fentress, it was a non-guaranteed contract, so unless there's a trade, I really have a tough time seeing him make the roster. Now, we do need a third guard, I think. I know Banton can do it a little bit, and then Anthony and Scoot currently on the roster can handle point guard duties. but you want to have that like emergency third guard. I'm not really a fan of signing like an undersized veteran that I mean, maybe he has some mentor skills that we don't know about or anything, but yeah, just kind of a ho-hum signing to me.
Yeah, I mean, who else? Is there a better option, though, to sign to a non-guaranteed at this time of the year that could be your third string, though, you know?
Right.
I don't know if anybody better would have went for a non-guaranteed. I'm surprised if Devonte Graham signed a non-guaranteed in a place where it's going to be hard for him to make this team.
Yeah, it's possible. I still think the Blazers are going to. We talked about this the last couple of streams, but I still think they're going to at least try to salary dump one of their vets before the season starts. Even if it's as simple as Robert Williams or Matisse Thybulle going to a team, but
I just don't know where there's destinations for that.
Yeah, but maybe that opens up a roster spot.
Yeah, I will say this, Eric. The reaction from Blazer fans disappointed me when we signed Devonte Graham, because there's a lot of people that were like either like freaking out or mad or this means a big trade's coming. Which, I played to that a little bit in my thumbnail when I dropped the Devonte Graham video. Like, is a big trade coming? I never see a signing like this and assume that it's an indicator of a much bigger move because Devonte Graham just is not relevant enough.
Right.
Like, why would they sign Devonte Graham before making that big move? Why did they need to sign him now in order to make a big move? You know what I mean? And it's just like that plus, like, why are we getting pissed off about a dude that, like, if he's on the roster, he's like the 15th man? I did not understand, like, on Twitter, the reaction from some of our own community, some of our own guys, man, like guys that I normally like agree with a lot of their takes. I was just like, really? We're up in arms over Devonte Graham, huh?
I was more just like, what? Why? Like, well, in some people's defense, I mean, Woj said it was like a 1-year deal. He didn't say it was a training camp deal or anything like that. So I think people assume that was like a...
Even if it was a 1-year deal. Like, okay, and?
Well, that puts 16 guaranteed contracts on the books. So I think that's where people were wondering what that meant.
And they could simply cut Banton, not worth freaking out about. They could make a smaller trade. Like, it could mean anything, even if it was fully guaranteed. So I just didn't understand, like, the premature, like, reaction to some of it. And like I said, it's from people that normally I agree with a lot of their stuff. It's people that, like, I'm friends with. But some of my friends, we got C. Frank calling some of my friends low IQ basketball fans in the chat. That's a little mean. But, yeah, I just didn't really understand the reaction on Twitter, man.
Yeah, well, I don't know. It seems like a weird player unless you think he's like a tank commander type player, but
he could be. Well,
yeah,
he helped us get better odds because he hit that game winner against Denver, so maybe this is how we're rewarding him. Yeah, even though we didn't get rewarded.
Yeah, maybe. But yeah, I think people just like to clown the Blazers when they sign guards, you know?
Oh, I mean, I get that. I get that part for sure. It's just like, it's whatever. We're probably not going to remember this signing a year from now, most likely. So, who cares? Like, Devonte Graham will come in. If he's on the team, he's a good third-string guard. If we end up with a bunch of injuries, at least he'll be running the offense instead of Jamari Bouye, right? Like, that's probably better for our young center and our young core, I guess. So,
well,
we were playing Ashton Hagen's minutes last year with Jamari Bouye, Eric. So, if this means instead those guys is Devonte Graham, cool.
Man, I know this is going to sound really stupid, but I am going to be kind of mad if we cut Banton at this point, and that's like our only move we make.
Why?
Because we had an opportunity to get out of his contract without any dead money, and then even if it's like $200,000, they basically are adding that salary to to the salary cap without like no reason.
I mean, that money's not going to make a difference for this team. No way.
I know it's not going to make a difference. That's why I said it's stupid. But like, it's another thing that doesn't make, like, it's not logical if you're thinking about it and you have a plan. If you just keep Devonte Graham over Dalano Banton and you cut him, like, it's just,
it could be as simple as like they would rather for some reason have Graham, but they had an offer out to him and they were just waiting for him to accept. So they waited, and Banton is now partially guaranteed, and Graham finally accepts, like, okay, sure, and then we cut Banton. Like, if that was the scenario, that could be the logic behind it. And I just don't think it's, like, means enough at all. Well, it's so meaningless, like, I don't even care why. I don't even care about, a little bit of dead money for 1 year, right? Like, if they stretch anything, I'm pissed, because you want to maintain future flexibility, so... don't bring in somebody, like Gabe. I was thinking about this with Gabe Vincent, man. Like, what if because of roster spots they waived and stretched Gabe Vincent and had $5 million of dead money for 5 years? Like, that's stuff to get. I'd be livid, right? And I don't know. Like, any trade they make, they're probably going to shed salary or get back equal salary anyways. So, and they're $4.5 million under the tax. So. I don't know. I don't think that matters much at all.
Yeah.
What would the cap hit dead money be if they waive and stretch Banton's partial guarantee? I'm not sure how much he's guaranteed right now.
It's like 240,000 or something.
So they could stretch that for 80,000 a year.
Yeah, that's the same crap they did with Didi Lozoda. It's like, what? Like, why even trade for that guy? Or like, why even do this if you're just gonna cut him?
Well, that made no sense because Didi Lozoda sucked. Like, Banton can at least kind of play.
Right.
So, like, he's worth having on the roster. Didi Lozoda was never worth having on the roster in the first place. So it was like, why did you even bring him back?
But that's what I'm saying. Like, I'd rather just keep Banton than waive him. But, like, I still think there's going to be a trade. So this is probably a moot point. But
yeah. Has your opinion on whether you think there's going to be a trade or not, has that swayed recently? Like, are you thinking it's more likely now that there's a trade before the end of the offseason, or less likely, or about the same as where you've been?
I'm still about the same. By the way, it is August 1st. I'm sure we won't see him for a while, but Kyle Neely has lost his bet to me and owes me money. We'll see if he shows his face around here anytime soon.
Yeah, because it was he bet that Anthony would get traded, correct?
By today, yeah. I don't know, because if we want to lead this into trade talk, there was a Robert Williams rumor this week, or in the last couple of days, and that's that Sacramento has been calling about him, or has called about him, and are interested in acquiring him.
Yeah, they might trade a second for him.
Yeah. But I think the Blazers might do that. You could match his salary with, like, Trey Lyles expiring or someone like that. Get a couple seconds, maybe 1 second, and
it just doesn't help your roster spot issue.
Yeah. It does free up a lot of salary, though.
Yeah, I mean, you shed like 4.
You might be able to find another team for Trey.
I just don't think Trey has like any value. I think at this time of the offseason, it just becomes hard just to offload salary. And it's like if a team's just taking on Trey's salary, you might have to give up anything we get back for Robert Williams and maybe another second. So it may just be paying a team to take on Robert Williams. I don't think Portland is going to give up Robert Williams for nothing or having to attach assets to him.
Yeah.
I think they'd much rather just try and play him some limited minutes, remind people, oh yeah, this dude can play some really good defense, and then hope that they can get something for him at the deadline.
I think the Kings might be willing to give us a little something, like a second-round pick or two. I don't know, because...
it's just how you get rid of Lyles, then.
Yeah. because um, at they signed DeRozan, right? And they still have Sabonis. They still have De'Aaron Fox. Like they're not great defensively. I think Robert Williams fits in really well with what they need. But I mean, obviously the health concerns are a thing.
Yeah,
But
that's why he has no value. Taylor says, I don't think we'd have to give up assets to get off Lyles. He's worth a flower. What team out there is going to take on $8 million right now for Trey Lyles? Like, that has the ability to take on $8 million for nothing back for Trey Lyles. I just don't think there's many teams out there that are even in a position to do so. So then you got to hope that one of the teams that can do it wants Trey Lyles, and I just don't think many teams are going to want him. He's just...
you can also cut him.
Yeah, I mean, we can cut him. It's just like... we were worried about 200,000 with Banton. That's $8 million.
Well, I mean,
money.
this is different. If we're trading for someone, we'd save, I think, $4.5 million or something like that in that trade. So like you're actually saving a bunch of money, and you're getting.
It just seems kind of pointless, though, to me.
Yeah.
Like, if you get a second, you can buy seconds.
Yeah.
We literally just sold the 40th pick for cash. You know what I mean? Like, it's just kind of like, what is the point of that? To me, I don't know. And I wonder if the Blazers feel the same way. Like, you're almost better off trading freaking Ayton for nothing somehow except for cap savings and then playing Robert Williams and hoping that he plays his way back into trade value. Like,
what if, like, I could see Sacramento giving up more than they should, though.
Like what? What could you see them giving up?
Like multiple seconds, or I know you didn't like this in the GC, but
Don't say it first. Don't say it first.
No, I was going to say so going back to the 2023 draft, the Sacramento Kings wanted Chris Murray, pick 24. We have pick 23. We took them ahead of that pick, and then they just salary dumped the 24th pick because they were so disgusted that Chris wasn't on the board anymore. Could they possibly still want Chris enough to have him and Robert Williams together be worth like a heavily protected first or something?
I don't think so. No way.
Yeah.
No way. Like, cause they need. What do they need, Eric? What do they?
They need defense.
Yeah, they need like defense. They need a two-way player, in my opinion. Like they need a splash that can help on both sides of the floor. I know they got DeRozan, like, you know, they got some nice offensive pieces. Robert Williams is going to be a backup. Chris Murray wouldn't even be in that rotation. So I just don't see them giving up a first that they could potentially package with other assets to actually make a meaningful splash at the deadline. It just seems like a terrible misuse of assets to me for a guy that can't stay healthy and a guy that can't even make a three in summer league or his rookie year. Like, it just there's too high of a chance that it results in they traded a first without getting back a single guy that's in the rotation at the end of the year.
Maybe they have a super secret strategy to put Chris and Keegan on the floor at the same time, and then that'll confuse defenses to sometimes guard Chris instead of Keegan, and then leaving Keegan to get slightly better looks from three every once in a while. What about that strategy? I'm just playing.
I love it. That's wild. I mean, hey, that makes as much sense as anything else.
I mean, you would get someone, right, with that every once in a while.
Literally, Eric, you can tell them apart the second you see both of them move. You can tell, oh, that's the good one.
That's true.
And that's the stiff one. So, yeah, that's funny. That's funny. I just don't think I
What
just
if you just
don't
play
see
them in
Robert Williams
opposite
being traded.
jerseys the entire season, and then everyone thinks Keegan's washed and Chris is good now, and then you trade him, and
Somehow I don't think that would be legal.
yeah.
Somehow I
I
don't
wonder
think
how
that would
long they
fly.
could get away with that.
Yeah, I wonder. I just don't think Robert Williams gets traded before the season.
Yeah.
And then I think he plays some freaking power forward. And they're hoping that Klingon can space the floor so they can play Robert Williams next to Klingon. And then Klingon next to Ayton a little bit. Or so. I don't know. I mean, their big man rotation is going to be freaking wacky this year. Wacky. And guess what? If they trade Jeremy Grant, that's more minutes at the 4 for 2 center lineups.
Yeah. Klingon and Ayton.
So they're going to have some wacky stuff in terms of playing 2 bigs together. And guess what, Eric? We're probably going to be sitting there on post games like, this is so disgusting. Like, this doesn't work. And we're going to be like questioning, like, man, is this affected Klingon's development and this and that? And they're probably going to be sitting back thinking like, yep, we're getting Cooper Flagg or we're getting our future star. You know what I mean? They might want to bring back Robert Williams to play him at the 4 because they know offensively it's not going to work playing Williams next to Ayton or Williams next to Klingon. And if they think somehow that's going to like work and actually look decent on the court and that's like a viable experiment, then they're just ridiculously dumb. So who knows? It's one of the two. Either they're maniacal and all in on next year's draft, which, you know, I kind of like that, or they're just incredibly dumb. I don't know. I'm hoping for the first.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed.
I just thought of something, Tori.
You think of a lot of things.
You're probably going to poo-poo this. What if the Kings were willing to give up assets for Chris Murray and the Blazers say no? How pissed would you be?
I mean, that just sounds like 2 stupid teams to me.
Yeah. I could totally see that, though.
I just don't think the Blazers would say no.
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, the only reason they'd say no is out of pride.
Right.
Out of like, we don't want to trade this guy. We just spent a 23rd pick on him. We don't want to trade him so soon for seconds. Because that's all they're getting back. If San Antonio goes and offers a first for Chris Murray right now, they do it in a heartbeat, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And if any team offered like 3 or 4 seconds for Robert Williams, like they might trade him for that. If it was like they were getting no salary back, they might do it for a couple. It's just
during the season for an expiring.
I just think it's very simple to me what's going to happen. If there's a trade, it's going to be Jeremy Grant to the Lakers, and they're going to bring back. The thing is, though, why did they need to sign Graham if they're going to bring back Gabe Vincent? There's your 3rd string point guard.
Yeah. Maybe they're finally going to get your boy Jared Vanderbilt.
Yeah. Yeah. Rui. I don't know.
I mean,
if the trade happens, it's Jeremy Grant getting traded and probably nothing else, and then they cut one of the players they get back, and then they maybe cut Banton and cut Graham.
Yeah, I was going to say, yeah, Graham, I think, doesn't factor into the team's plans then. I think that's why it's not guaranteed, because if they get Gabe Vincent back, they just cut Graham then.
I just have a funny feeling they're not going to do anything. And at times, this feeling has like gone away when I hear rumors, but it always comes creeping back, Eric. Creeping back. And you know why this feeling comes creeping back? Part of the reason, at least, was, oh man, we just got Malcolm Brogdon back for Drew Holiday. Certainly we're going to flip him before the season because we have 3 young guards that need to play, right? No, we value what Malcolm Brogdon brings to this team. Okay, deadline's coming up. Certainly, they're projected to be in the text. Like, certainly they're going to trade him for expiring and like try and get back a, hopefully a 1st round pick at the deadline, right? Like, and just move on from him. Nope, he's still here. Oh, and guess what? He doesn't play. So it's just like, Like, the Dame trade was just basically Dame forcing their hand, supposedly, although they wanted to move on from him, let's be real. Other than that, they don't do anything. Devonte Graham is the best free agent signing the last 2 years. Otherwise, all they've done is trade for Cam Reddish, trade for Matisse Thybulle, and trade for Dalano Banton.
Moses Brown.
So they don't do anything outside of the Avdija trade. That's why I love the Avdija trade. It was partly like, this dude's perfect for us. Partly like, okay, that's decent value. And partly like, oh my god, they actually made a move that means something. I just feel like that was, for like, the full year, that's their one move that means something. There's just that gut feeling like, Avdija's their trade. They can say they did something, and they got Klingon, and I don't know, man. Because if we go into this season with this roster, at the deadline, it's just going to be like, please trade Ayton, please trade Grant, maybe please trade Simons. I don't know, like, and then what? Is basically what we were doing last deadline with Grant and Brogdon, and we kept them both. So I just got a funny feeling like, I can't shake it, Eric, that nothing is going to happen.
Wouldn't be in this position right now if we would have traded with it.
Yeah. I mean, who knows what they turned down for Jeremy Grant. Well, they didn't even listen, so they didn't have an opportunity to turn anything down. So, at least according to reports. There really hasn't been a ton of rumors, though, in the last couple of days. Was there anything else? Like, it can be Blazer-related or maybe across the NBA that
Landon brings up that Irwin is saying that the holdup right now is that Portland wants both Rui and Vando, but Pelinka isn't trading both of them on top of 2 firsts. So Portland either has to take 1 pick or get back worse players. I don't know. I heard they don't care who the players back are. They just care about them giving them the 2 firsts.
If they are being offered 2 firsts for Jeremy Grant, you said they want Rui and Vando?
That's what.
If they're being offered Rui and 2 firsts for Jeremy Grant, and they're holding off for Jared freaking Vanderbilt, they are ludicrously ridiculous.
Yeah, I don't
know how much more colorful way to put it, Eric. Yeah. You're holding off for a dude that struggles staying healthy and is not a future starter on your team. Tamani Kamara, with his contract, I'd rather have Tamani Kamara. Vanderbilt's not a shooter. He's a defensive player that's very limited offensively, and his defense is a little overrated. Why the hell would you be sitting there being offered a great package for Jeremy, getting back Rui and 2 firsts, and sit there and be like, no, we need Vando?
Yeah.
So, I mean, like, I'm hoping that part of me is hoping that's true because that means the Lakers are willing to give up 2 firsts and Rui for Jeremy. And part of me is hoping that's false because I would not like to think that the Blazers would turn that down if they were getting back Gabe Vincent instead of Vando.
Yeah. And Taylor's saying Portland doesn't want D'Lo, and the Lakers are trying to trade D'Lo. But that also doesn't necessarily make sense because if they're going to trade D'Lo, they do need some point guard depth, especially if it would be D'Lo and Vincent both going out. So they need some sort of point guard depth in that situation. And they probably still need at least one more big man too. So you would think if they're trading D'Lo, they're getting some sort of point guard or non-forward back in the deal so they can fill at least one other position. But I don't know, man.
Yeah, chat, how mad would you be if that was the sticking point, was Vando? Javon says, Rui and Vando in a first is good. I would much rather have 2 firsts, Rui and Vincent, than Vando in a first. Vando's not worth a first.
Some Laker fans have convinced themselves that Rui's better than Jeremy Grant, and so we should be giving them picks for Rui, not the other way around.
I mean, Laker fans will convince themselves that anyone on their team is a star, man.
Mm-hmm.
It's wild. It's wild. It's crazy. Landon says, yeah, even Irwin said the gap between Rui and Grant isn't worth a first. I mean, that's not true. I think it's worth a first, but I think the Lakers are in such a position that they should give up 2 firsts to get Jeremy. Like, they need a player like Jeremy. They need to do something to make that team better. That's why it's like, if you can get Rui in 2 firsts, you're taking a run, because value-wise, that's phenomenal for Portland.
Wonder, just spitballing off the top of my head, there were rumors that the Nets would be possibly interested in a D'Lo reunion. This doesn't help the situation I was talking about, but I was thinking, like, if we sent them Thibault along with Vincent and D'Lo and got back like Ben Simmons' expiring contract or something. I'm just trying to find a way to get like a big expiring contract.
I mean, that would be ideal. I just don't really buy the D'Angelo Russell and Brooklyn stuff.
Yeah.
So, any other trade talk you want to get into?
No, we forgot to mention earlier that Jared Allen signed an extension, so that locked up all 4 of their core players. 3 of them from this summer, basically making several of them untradeable for, well, it's like 5 months now for Mitchell, but 6 months for Mobley. And Mobley's going to be on a huge poison pill too. So
they're selling out a lot of money, man.
Yeah. But they keep their core 4 together. Could they be a sneaky Jeremy Grant?
They can only trade 1 first.
Yeah.
Give me Jalen Tyson in the first, though. I'll do that.
There you go.
I'll do that, man. Jalen Tyson has looked phenomenal in Summer League. I mean, I am all on board the Tyson train. You guys have known that if you've paid attention. Jalen Tyson is going to be a stud. Everything I thought like he was good at translated directly to Summer League. Athletic 6'6" wing, 3-level scorer that can handle the ball, is shifty, and can read the defense and pass and play make? How's that not a really good freaking prospect? It never made sense to me why like he was a guy that people had fallen to the 20s. It didn't make sense to me that he fell to 20. That's easily a lottery prospect from last year, and honestly, I would bet that he is going to be a top, like, 6 to 7 player from last year's draft. I'm comfortable saying that.
Yeah. Well, I think the Cavs might be... I mean, this isn't the best strategy, but it worked out for them last time with a restricted free agent. I think they're hoping for some more magic like what happened with Colin Sexton, where they waited long enough to find a team that was willing to take on or sign him to a contract and then use that as part of a bigger trade. So maybe they're just waiting for a team to be interested in Okoro so they can make a move that way.
Yep, Lena says so is Graham. Training camp deal or non-guaranteed? Fentress says it's non-guaranteed. So, believe him or not. Believe him if you want to.
And Spot Track still hasn't updated it yet, so...
Yeah.
I'm assuming that's because it's not confirmed yet or something.
Yep. Anyway, if there's a big trade, of course, we'll go live as soon as possible. Next Monday, hopefully we have some new rumors to talk about, since that's what we have to talk about at this time of year.
Can the Cavs do a swap, though?
I think they can do a swap. I mean...
Like a 2031 first and a 2030 swap?
Those better be unprotected. Or at least one of them unprotected.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just, like, I don't want Yang and LeVert. I mean, I know it's just fiddler salary. It's just like you're adding a roster spot, and it's like I would be scared that they're going to play LeVert. I do not want. I never want Caris LeVert to play rotation minutes for the Portland Trailblazers. Okay.
Tank Commander.
I've been saying it. I do not like Caris LeVert's game in the NBA, which is kind of weird because I liked him coming out of college, and like I thought he was a sleeper, and he ended up kind of being a sleeper. But like just for this team, like young team, I just have always thought he's overrated. He doesn't play defense. He like can kind of pass now, but he's just not efficient. Last year, true shooting percentage 52%. For his career, 52.8%. Like, if you look at his if you look at his whole career, other than his rookie season, he's under a 55 true shooting percentage. He's not a good three-point shooter. He shoots 34% on his career, 32.5% last year. So, like, that shooting problem, but he shoots 5 a game. He kind of ISO ball a little too much. I just do not like him, and I definitely do not like him on this young team. So that's my whole thing, getting back Caris LeVert. I do not like the idea because I feel like they would play him some freaking minutes, and it just would be a frustrating player to have playing for a young rebuilding team.
For the record, he is an aspiring.
Flip him for anything.
Yeah.
For anything. Flip him for as scrubby of a player as you can get because he won't play. And I don't want Caris LeVert playing for this team. I know he's big enough to play the 3, so he's not really a guard, but I never been a big fan of Caris LeVert, unfortunately. Anyway, this stream is brought to you by our friends over at BetUS. They're back on board for another season. Can't thank them enough. You can get a great deal at BetUS. You can get a 125% deposit bonus on your first 3 deposits up to $2,000. And right now, Eric, there is a ton of fun stuff over on BetUS because you got futures not only for the NFL, which the regular season starts in September, you also have futures for the NBA. Right now, they have the Blazers regular season win total for the 2024-2025 season. Eric, it's set at over under 22.5 wins. Over 22.5 wins is minus 105. Under 22.5 wins is minus 125. Are you taking the over or are you taking the under?
It's hard to underrate their ability to lose games, especially after the All-Star break. But if there is not a Jeremy Grant or Anthony Simons trade, I think they win a couple more than 22.5, so I'd take the over.
Yeah, my gut feeling is the over as well. If you guys feel strongly on this money line, you can sign up for BetUS. There's a link in our description box below. Using that link helps out the channel as well, and you can go in and get in on the action and get in on NBA futures. And if you're into football, let me just open up this drop down. All of this are NFL or NCAA football, or even they got Canadian football, Australian football league at the bottom. But like from here on up is all NFL. Everything I've highlighted. So they got Super Bowl specials already. They got NFL specials, season stat leaders, all sorts of fun stuff. And NFL futures is a fun way to just like set a bet and let it ride. You're not going to win right away. You're not going to lose right away. You can kind of root for something over the course of the season. And it's a lot of fun to keep track of your preseason predictions by putting a little money on the line with our link in the description box below. Remember, 125% deposit bonus on your first 3 deposits up to $2,000 with our friends at BetUS. We're going to be doing a lot of fun stuff, especially in the preseason, looking at some of the betting lines they have over on the website because they have literally everything, Eric. They have literally everything. So if you guys feel strongly, if you guys are a sports nerd like us and want to test your luck, go check out BetUS, link in description.
Yeah, if you're a wannabe gambler, you should be betting NFL preseason games. That's where all the money is. I'm just kidding.
I don't know. I mean, if you wanna make a preseason game fun, that's how you do it.
So I got a text from Rich yesterday.
Yeah.
This dude said he had 33 outstanding baseball bets just for last night.
33?
Yeah, I'm like,
That's a lot.
dude, you're crazy.
That's wild. 33 from last night. So like
Just last
just,
night,
is
yeah.
that like season long futures, or that like he bet
No,
on games
no, he
last
just
night?
bet 33 bets just on the games last night, like run totals and who wins and different props and
Did
stuff
he
like that.
did he get lucky? Did it work out for him?
I think so he said that most of the games where he bet the over on had already hit. He was just waiting for the games to end, so I think he was doing pretty well on them.
Love to hear it. Love to hear it, man. It'd be good to have Rich one of these streams, just liven it up a little bit. That would be some fun. I miss talking to Rich. It's been a minute. Man, like I still have the fondest memory of watching you and Rich while in Sun River and driving back from Sun River, just in the middle of nowhere. It's sunny. Like, it's just a vibe, man. Rich is a vibe.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's talk a little bit about Olympics, then we'll take a couple questions and then wrap up this stream. The Team USA beat South Sudan by a lot more than their exhibition game, because they almost lost their exhibition game to South Sudan. And in their game against South Sudan, they benched Joel Embiid, who played a lot of minutes in their first game, but I guess they were just resting him against South Sudan. And this time they played Halliburton, they played Tatum, who got DNPs in the first game, and Tatum looked pissed, and rightfully so. But Team USA, couple resounding wins. They play Puerto Rico next, which they should dominate their, the U.S.'s little brother, if you want to call it. So really right now we're just kind of looking ahead to the knockout stage. Is there a team that's going to potentially beat Team USA? Is there a team that's like really going to challenge them? And if so, who?
Well, I mean, going into this, you would think France would give us the biggest challenge, but they have not looked good at all. They should have probably lost to Japan. They let some 5'0" dude go off on them. But yeah, so I don't know, man. I haven't been super impressed with any other team in this tournament so far.
Yeah, a little underwhelming, man. Like, I know Santi Aldama's been going off for Spain. Like, that's kind of what I'm looking at. Is like, are there players
They
going
lost
off that
one
could
of that
maybe,
game, though. Yeah.
give trouble, right? But yeah, with them having lost, they might not make the knockout stage. Who knows? So, France was the team I thought was going to present a problem, but they got, like, Japan got robbed against them. The Rui ejection, and then the phantom 4-point play to tie the game. Like, that was some home cooking, Eric.
Yeah.
But still, the rim protection, I think, is so formidable still that, like, it could give Team USA problems. And if they're not making threes against France, then France could beat them. I still think that's their number one challenger.
David mentions Canada. That's going to be a tough game, too. Just
Jamal
because
Murray
they have...
hasn't been playing well, though. I don't know.
Yeah, but you still got SGA who can get hot. And they might not have the bigs like France does, but I think they match up with us well at every other position.
They're the only team that can, like, meet Team USA in a track meet, I feel like. And then, like, France, if they can slow it down and get it into a half-court game, then that's the game that France will want to try and play. Because then they can set their rim protection. They can set their defense with Wemby and Gobert.
And if it's just one game, well, it obviously will be a one-game winner-take-all scenario. Wemby could just have a crazy game and just hit a bunch of turnaround fadeaways. And what are you supposed to do?
Yeah. So I'm looking forward to the rest of the Olympics. It's, I was watching women's triathlon the other night. I just become a fan of watching sports that, like, this is the only time I ever watch gymnastics or a triathlon, but it's fun. I've been enjoying it. It's gonna be fun once track stuff starts too.
Yeah, it's cool seeing Simone Biles win the all-around again, and Oregon State's Jade Carey was on the gold medal winning team gymnastics.
You're gonna shout out Oregon State's Carey, but you're not going to shout out Vancouver, Washington legend Jordan Childs?
Sorry, I didn't know it was Vancouver.
You didn't know that?
I probably did, but it slipped my mind.
Yeah, just hating on Vancouver, man. You Portlanders always hating on Vancouver.
Yeah.
I don't know if we have anybody else in the Olympics, but it is cool to see us like represented by somebody like on that gymnastics team. So, couple of Northwesterners, man. You got Carey, Oregon State, and then Jordan Childs went to Prairie High School up here in Vancouver. So, just a little surreal to have somebody from Vancouver actually like on that sort of stage.
Mm-hmm.
Even though we're like a big town, I don't know, not many people make it out of here. That sounds kind of ridiculous, but
There are plenty of people making out of there.
yeah,
Anyways,
like Greg Biffle. That's who we got.
I think track and field starts tomorrow, right?
Yeah, I'm not sure of the scheduling of it, but I'm looking forward to that. Maybe Noah Lyles can become a world champion.
Yeah.
But you see like Anthony Edwards on that like ping pong, you know.
Yeah.
That'd be fun, man. It would be so much fun to be like an Olympic basketball player and then just like when it's not game day, you just go to these random events and get to have fun like cheering on Team USA and whatever.
By the way, unless one of those players gives him a free point or just like has a error themselves, there's no way Anthony Edwards is scoring a point on a Olympic
In a game to
ping pong player.
21?
There's just no, dude. Have you seen those? It's
I've
crazy.
seen them. I've seen them. I'm just thinking,
It's
is there
such a different than like playing ping pong with the boys like after practice or something compared to like the way the Olympic players play.
Yeah.
I just think there's no chance.
Yeah. I don't know. He would have had to have played a lot of ping pong to have a chance to score a point. You know what I mean? There's always those people that like played ping pong all the time growing up and they're just cracked. So I don't know. Maybe that's him, but otherwise, yeah. Yeah, I agree with you. What would be, if not for basketball, what would be your Olympic sport, Eric?
Well, I'm pretty sure you and I could do better than our 3-on-3 basketball team.
I've not paid any attention to that. Have they just getting smoked?
So dumb. We just have like Jimmer and
Yeah, why do we have Jimmer, man?
and the worst Berry brother. Like,
Why?
I don't know.
We couldn't find... No NBA players wanted to do that? Is that like... Or just we're not allowed to use NBA players? Like, what's the deal with that?
It's some like weird. There's some weird rules where you have to qualify. The qualifying process is really lengthy, and it conflicts with a lot of NBA stuff, and you have to like be part of the qualifications in order to play in the Olympics or something. I don't know.
Weird.
Yeah,
It's weird, man.
but it's obviously breakdancing, right?
And breakdancing.
I'm just joking.
Mine would probably be triathlon.
Triathlon.
Yeah, I was in crazy shape in high school, man. I never trained, and I could run like a 5-minute mile. So I got some natural cardio, but you know.
Yeah.
And I was always a strong swimmer as a kid too. So you know, I think that would probably be my sport.
Yeah, I think for me it'd have to be like handball or something.
Oh, yours would definitely be shooting guns.
I don't shoot guns, so.
Handball's fun, man.
I would say water polo, but I don't know. It takes crazy endurance to.
Yeah.
Those guys are insane, man.
The way they can like lift themselves up out of the water to shoot is just like how.
Yeah.
Beer pong. Hey, I'm looking forward to when it's in LA because we got flag football. Like, I'm just curious to see what the hell that looks like on an Olympic stage. Do they use NFL players? I don't know. And also baseball coming back in 2028, Eric. That's going to be fun. Olympic baseball, going to be fun.
I don't know why they ever got rid of it.
I don't know either. Because it's just like a popular sport. I mean, I guess not in Europe, but, you know, Latin America, Asia. So, that'll be fun. Anything else you want to get into on this stream?
Well, if you were in one of those shooting competitions, would you do like the guy from Turkey, have one hand in your pocket and just one hand metal, like when everyone else has all this like fancy equipment and stuff?
Oh, it's all about the aura, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's I don't know, man. I mean,
Speaking of vibes, that dude was.
yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I've never shot a gun, so I don't know if I could be chill enough to shoot a gun like that. But, I'd like to think that would be me. Tough James. Yeah, that's Jaw's Olympic event, Eric.
Oh man.
Oh, that's funny. That's funny. Anyway. Chat, if you got a couple good questions, we'll answer them. We got about 5 minutes left in the show before we wrap it up. Appreciate you guys hanging out with us on this edition of Blazers Uprise Live, presented by BetUS.
For life advice.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. It's hot in here. Don't you want to turn on your AC again, Eric? Life advice takes a while. So I don't know why you said that. Because now people are going to be expecting some life advice.
Someone has a quick one.
Adam says, so I'm quite eager to see how my Hawks match up with your Niners. It's coming. Just remember, McDonald is going to do voodoo on D. We're beating y'all. I'm sorry, bro. But yeah, it should be fun. Should be fun.
Farrell Roly Poly, where are you at in Washington? Because that kind of matters. But ALNA is pretty nice.
ALNA is cool. Are we going to get a player breakdown video of FD at some point? Maybe. Probably not, man. I don't know. My life is swamped. I'm basically managing BetUS's whole campaign right now with a bunch of creators, and it's a lot. So I literally worked 12 hours yesterday and got up at Eric, I got up at 7:30 this morning.
Nice.
Look at me. I've transformed into somebody I don't recognize. And worked to 6. So, it's... The thing is, yesterday it was meetings almost all day, or talking to people almost all day for 11 hours explaining stuff. I was starting to lose my voice. It was not fun. So, yeah. But shout out to BetUS. Thank you to them for sponsoring the channel and all that they do. ALNA is cool. Ridgefield is cool. They're putting in a Costco and an In-N-Out in Ridgefield. So, there you go. You got your bulk groceries and your fast food. Californian fast food. I wish you would what to expect from Denny for everyone out there. Yeah, I don't know what I'm gonna do player preview wise. I haven't thought that far ahead. It's still a ways away. I'm actually planning NBA. I'm trying to do NBA Uprise content a month ahead, and get that off the ground. Actually, I just know if I wait, I probably won't do it once we get too close to the season. So I'll focus on the Blazers stuff once we get into September. It's probably just going to be streams, and I'll do some videos. I'll probably do some film breakdowns for guys that I've already edited a lot of film breakdown stuff on. So yeah, we'll have some stuff for you in August. Anyway.
Player preview on Duop Reith becoming an All-NBA.
Yeah, I'll clickbait the hell out of that.
Portland's secret All-NBA team weapon.
Versatile unicorn center. Yeah, I can clickbait some Duop. What did you guys want the Blazers to do with Rob? Well, we talked about it earlier, so just rewind the stream. Thank you for tuning in. Anyway, Eric, anything else before we dive?
Thanks, Ron, for tuning in. Appreciate you all. Hope to see you back on the stream Monday, or keep saying it, but maybe someday it'll happen, an emergency stream for a trade.
Fingers crossed. I'd love that. But until then, we're just chilling. That's ironic because it's hot in here. We're out of here. Once again, thank you to BetUS for sponsoring this stream. You can sign up for BetUS with the link in the description box below. And also, if you do sign up, let me know because I can give you $25 of free play. Terms and conditions apply. Shout out to them for sponsoring this episode. We're going to be back again on Monday unless they do a trade, and we'll talk about the latest rumors, the latest Olympic stuff, and if there's any news across the NBA, we'll touch upon that as well. But thank you guys for hanging out with us as we get into the dog days of August. Always means a lot to us when you guys show up and turn out for these streams during August and September. Season's right around the corner. I mean, we'll be previewing the season in 2 months. So looking forward to that. In the meantime, looking forward to football being back, Eric. Got to start prepping for fantasy.
Yes.
We'll stream that draft. That'll be fun.
It's coming up fast.
Yeah. Anyway, thank you guys for hanging out with us. We're out of here. Hopefully you have a good rest of your night and a good weekend. And until next time, as always, peace out. Go Blazers.